So we have just won promotion to the third tier of Sweden. We've just won the fourth tier of Sweden. So we are going to be preparing a transfer special to try and build a squad who can compete in the third division. The thing is, nearly all of our players are out of contract, and so am I. So as I alluded to, our contract actually ends in 87 days. So obviously we joined these mid-season. We've played 12 games. We won the league, which was good, which got us promotion. We just about did it as well. One thing I said we aren't doing is qualifications. So as you can see already, though, our reputation's actually gone up a little bit. It went from pending to obscure. We've gained competency and determination, so we're a little bit determined, which is good. But everything else, not great. Excuse me. So we are going into this kind of not knowing what our future holds. Like I say as well, everyone bar a small handful of players are out of contract. What I'm going to go do now is basically go through the squad and strip it of everyone I don't want for next season. So we'll just be left with what we want. And then at that point, we'll try and offer some contracts. So this is, I think, the squad we're going to go into next season with. The other thing to keep in mind is most of these are out of contract, so this could change. But I think looking at this, the one thing I don't want to do is, because I don't know how good our recruitment is going to be, is just totally tear up the squad and try and bring in a whole new 11. I think a bit of stability will work well. I think the key players we want to keep are probably Worrell, who is tied down for a long time, which is great. Hansen's out of contract, though. We definitely want to get him a new deal. Precious Johnson is also out of contract. We definitely want to get him a new deal. Rosberg, obviously, the youngster, he's got potential, and he's on a youth contract. Viggerbach is someone I'm really unsure of. We'll probably offer him a new deal, but if he wants a big pay increase, we'll probably just risk it and let him go. Berman's already tied down, so he's going to stay here again as well, so we don't need to change on those. And then the centre-backs, Abiyomi, he's out of contract, would like to offer him a new deal. Tornberg as well, again out of contract, would like to offer him a new deal. Stalnacki, the goalkeeper, I'm unsure of. He's not a bad player. If he's happy to be a backup, or at least move into a backup role, we could keep him as well. But then we've got all these players, basically all of the players down here. If we go to the first team view, as you can, they're just not good enough. They're all 2.5 star or below. They're not going to be good enough. One of them's already on a non-contract anyway. We can just release him now. No need to mess around with him. But the rest of them, yeah, we're going to set them all for release. All these lads are going to go. The only one that isn't in the first 11 we're going to keep is potentially Aberg. He is a leading player as well, and he can play up front or on either side. So definitely a good player to keep around. But yeah, we are going in the third division, which is the first division. So we're going in the third tier. First division is what it's called. I imagine it'll be first division north because we're in the division N, Northern North now. So it's probably, I think we're as northernly as we can get. So hopefully we'll know what that is. But like I say, the other thing is we need to get a new contract in. So hopefully the club will offer us that. I think there's some I don't know what it's called, elections going on in the club. So it's kind of like in Portugal where there's club elections and things like that with presidents. So maybe once that's resolved, which I think is near the end of November, that'll be resulted and we'll know. We have a mix of players. Some of them are out of contract in November, some in December. Don't really know why. We'll hopefully be able to sort all this out though. So the first thing I'm going to go do now is try and offer contracts. Now, when I tried to offer contracts before, players didn't want to speak to me, and they still don't. So they keep saying this, and I'm willing to consider the possibility of renewing in general, but I don't want to discuss a new contract at this time, as it would be inferior terms to my current deal, which has time left to run. I don't know why. I don't know why they're saying this. So he's Precious Johnson was a November one, so there's no way anyone in December, like an Abiyomi, is going to talk to us either. It seems like players just don't want to speak to us now because we're going to give them worse deals, which I don't think we will, because we've got a much bigger transfer budget, a wage budget, sorry. So I don't really know why, but hopefully we're not going to just lose all our players. But one thing I'm going to do is try and find players to replace them. Now, we are going into a league with more games. So this season started actually quite late in April. So I don't know when it's going to kick off next season. I would imagine it might be a little bit earlier, because I think there was only 7 teams in this league, and I think the league we're going up to is 16. Hang on. Let's figure this out. Oh my word. Where are we at? Hang on. Let's figure it out. We can figure this out. Come on. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Show me the promotion thing. There we go. Where's the rules? No, I need the rules. It's so confusing. Promotion to first division. There we go. So we're going into this, which, yeah, I think, yeah. Plays each other twice? Is that the rules? 30 games. So their season's not actually done. So when did they probably start? Well, I guess we can just take a look at someone like this. So they end in November still and start in March. It's only a little bit earlier. So it's very late March as well. So it's really not too different, but there's just more games throughout the season. So we've got a bit of time, obviously, until the season starts. So hopefully we'll be able to sign some players and hopefully we'll be able to renew some contracts. So literally, as we clicked next, the board came in and offered us a new deal. So it's a new one-year contract on £120 a week, which I think is what we're on now, which is a little bit disappointing that they're not going to give us any more. They'll still only offer us a one-year deal max. So I'm going to ask for a little bit more money and see if I can't get a little bit of a pay rise. That feels a little bit disrespectful. I'm thinking of leaving the club. We'll sign it anyway, but that feels a little bit disrespectful. I've just won them promotion. They'll give me a new wage budget, and they can't give me more than £10 a week increase. I'm a little bit miffed at that. I'm starting to think maybe we should be looking around for another job, but we won't focus on the money. We'll accept it, but that is a little bit miffing that they didn't want to. It's a little bit disappointing they didn't want to offer us a new deal, but we will an increase. Sorry, so we will accept that new contract though, which will, of course, now tie us down till next season. So we'll definitely be here for the third division of Sweden. After that point, obviously, we're just going to take it a season at a time whilst we're on these part-time contracts. So, yeah, one thing I don't know is if the division above us, is whether they are a, how do I see it? Whether they are a full-time outfit or not. If we look at someone like Vasselund, no. So they're top of the league. They're still semi-pro. Semi-pro. So Hammarby, is that the actual Hammarby? That can't be. It must be a different one. Stockholm, semi-pro. So it seems like most teams are still semi-pro, which is what we are at the minute as well. We are semi-pro, aren't we? Yeah, we're semi-pro. So yeah, at the minute, it's not too bad. Financially, things are okay. We're kind of just slightly negative, but we don't really spend much money in the season. Most of our money comes in. We made 82k this season. Most of it comes in through other stuff, so like sponsorships, gate receipts, some fundraising. Expenditure is, again, not too high. We're kind of just, yeah, making ends meet, I guess. Mostly just wages, to be honest. In staff wages as well, which is quite crazy. So yeah, nothing to worry about, I don't think, on the money side of it. I imagine as we go up, we'll get a little bit more sponsorship as well. I don't know what our sponsorship is at the minute. 20k, so when that comes in, we'll actually have a nice little increase to the bank balance. So we should be okay financially. We are expected to make money, which is good. We don't have any debts as well, which is good. So yeah, I think we're doing okay. Obviously, we aren't spending anywhere near our budget. So realistically, we can go out and hopefully sign some players. Like I say, all of these players now I am just going to set to release. No, I don't want to do it down to there. Why are you doing this? Why are you the way you are? There we go. Transfer, contract. I don't think I can just release them because I think they're on semi-pro contracts. So we'll set them for release. So they're all going to go. So I don't know if that affects our budget at all. I don't think it does. But yeah, anyway, we'll go kick on and hopefully start to renew and sign some new players. Right, so we've got to a point where players will negotiate with us. The weird thing is, though, is I don't seem to be able to offer proper contracts. It's just non-contracts. And I don't know why. I don't know, because of the existing contracts were part-time deals with obviously some bonuses. But for some reason now I'm only able to offer non-contracts rather than full-time contracts. I don't know why. Yeah, it's like I'm not allowed to do that at all. I don't really know why. So, yeah, I guess what we'll do is just offer them non-contracts and we'll have to just run the risk, I guess. So he wants £110 a week. So we'll offer him what he was earning on a weekly wage as a starter. So it at least keeps them at the club. But I'm a little bit worried that we're getting players on non-contracts, because obviously the worry with that being they can leave at any time. So someone like Miguel Hansen, I don't really want him to be on a non-contract. I'd rather him to be tied down, but we're just not allowed to offer that. So yeah, I don't really know why. We'll have to just work with what we've got and offer these guys non-contracts. But yeah, someone like Max Worrell obviously is on a full-time deal, so is on an actual part-time deal. So I don't know why I'm not able to offer these part-time contracts. It seems like a bit of a bug, maybe. I'm not sure. But anyway, we'll go through. We'll offer contracts to all the players here, and then at least if we don't want to keep them, then I guess we can always just release them if we find someone better in the window. We've got to the 1st of December, which is sort of when there's kind of like 2 free contract days in Sweden. So obviously some people's contracts end in November, others end in December. So it's kind of January 1st / December 1st for contract. So we've managed to basically tie everyone down that we wanted to keep. So basically everyone is in on a non-contract. We moved a little bit of money over into scouting, but we've got 1.6k available. So we've got money to go out and get players. As you can see, pretty much everyone's on a non-contract, and they're not on crazy money either. If you look at someone like Precious Johnson, he's getting £90 an appearance. I think he's the highest earner as a good first division player. So if we can find better players, we can obviously move them on as well, which is good. The only worry is obviously if we're doing well during the season, or if players are wanted, then there's every chance they can go. But yeah, players like Thornberg, they're tied down. He's a good first division player, so it's good to have them. But well, I say tied down. They've got deals beyond when they were expiring. We've not brought anyone in. I think we've only released 1 player so far. I don't think we had a lot going out so far. I think it's just a couple of backups have left. So nothing crazy yet. Obviously, once the rest of the boys leave in January, that'll be a bit more money. Not really too much more, though. So we've pretty much got what we're working with. So hopefully we can go out and find some players, because at the minute, we're obviously light. I think the board are just wanting us to attempt to avoid relegation, which worries me that the step up from this league to that league might be quite big. So I think we need to go out and get some first division quality players. So thankfully we've been able to make our first batch of signings, and we can take a look at the sort of level of player we're able to bring in at the minute. The first one is Emile Chambo. He is a Cameroonian 19-year-old striker on a non-contract. So again, he can leave at any point, and if we find someone better later in the season, we can release him at any point, which is good. He's only getting £40 per appearance. He is a youngster. He was at Lyngby in Denmark, so a decent bit of pedigree. He's 3 stars of current ability, which means he's a leading player in the 4th division. He's got potential to be a 2nd division player. So he's a youngster with potential. He's happy to be a breakthrough prospect as well. He's going to sit in the under-19s. If we end up needing him, we'll bring him up to the first team. That's kind of the way that we're going with these youngsters. The next one is Benjamin Damsgaard. He is a 20-year-old Danish left-back, again on a non-contract. He is on a little bit more money, £150 per appearance. Another one who's 3 stars of current ability, so a leading player in the 4th division, which we've just been promoted from, but potential to play in the 2nd division. So with some game time, I'm hoping they'll become 3rd tier level players. He was at Aalborg, played a couple games for their B team, or their 2nd team, should I say, never making an appearance for the 1st team. But yeah, he is, again, another one from pedigree with some decent potential, some decent overall attributes. So he's going to slot in quite nicely as our first choice left back for now. As I can say, obviously we've got other players still to come in. For now, I guess we'll just move the other boy up to the 1st team as well until we start to get some more players in. So Chambo, you can cut, well, whenever he comes in. He might even be the starter, to be fair. He might even be ahead of Rosberg at the minute, I guess. So, yeah, he probably is. So we'll keep an eye on him. We'll probably bring him into the 1st team as well. So at the minute, all we're really lacking is a right back, and then we'll at least have an 11 to start the season with. Another 2 youngsters have come in the door. The first one is Asper Stengard. He is a 19-year-old Danish winger. Again, he's happy to be a breakthrough prospect. 3 stars of current ability, 5-star potential, pretty much the same as the rest. Non-contract, only £40 per appearance as well. He's been around the block in the Danish youth teams. He was at Thisted, went to Midtjylland on a free, went to Hobro, then Vale in Denmark as well. But he's hopped over to Sweden. Obviously, again, he's not going to be a starter, but it's nice to just fill out the squad with decent players like that. One player who very well could be a starter is Borstein on Kjartansen. He is an Icelandic goalkeeper, just 19 years of age, 3 stars of current ability, 5-star potential. He hasn't joined us just yet, though. It appears he's going to be joining us on the 29th of Jan for some reason. Not sure why. Maybe it's something to do with him coming from Iceland. But yeah, he was available on a free. He hasn't joined us just yet, but he's also going to be on a non-contract. So could be first choice goalkeeper. He's probably better than what we've got in Stalnacki anyway, with more potential. So what we're going to do, once he comes in, we'll compare the two. And if he's better, we might just release Stalnacki. Another one in the door, seems like Denmark is the place for us, is Noah Schack. He is a 21-year-old Danish centre-back. At 5'10", I think he's really more of a right back, and that's where we're going to be using him. Again, he's 3 stars of current ability, 5-star potential on and on contract. Happy to be a breakthrough prospect, but he's definitely getting moved to the first team. So again, not played too many senior games. He was at Nordsjælland, and then, yeah, went and played in whatever level that is in Denmark, not sure, but he joins us and he's going to be basically slotting in to be that right back position, which will mean we have at the very least a first team squad of players. So we've at least got, you know, a squad to start the season with. Still waiting for that goalkeeper to come in. Someone else, I'm sure we brought someone else up. Shaq, you can go in at right back. There we go. There was someone else we signed. Stengard. There we go. Here he is. He can come in as well. So yeah, at the minute, it's looking like this. So we're okay. We've definitely got some options. Starting to think Aberg we might just release at some point as well, but we'll keep him for now. But yeah, overall, I think obviously we just need to probably now just improve on what we've got. We don't really need rotation players like a Stengard. It's good to bring in these players to fill out the bench, but we really need first team players. We still got quite a bit of money left to work with, so hopefully some first division players, some third tier players will come up, and we'll be able to sign them and improve the first team. But at the minute, it's looking okay. Slightly worried about all the non-contracts, but it seems like that's the only thing we can offer, so don't really know why. But yeah, so we're still waiting on, obviously, these lads leaving at the end of December, going into January, and hopefully that'll open up a different selection of players to try and sign as well. Right, so we've reached the 1st of Jan, which means all of the players that we had in the team that were out of contract in December have all gone now, so we are left with this. We're left with, what is that, 11, 12, 13, 14 players. Yeah, that's right. We've got 1.6 grand available in wage, so we've definitely got money to spend. The problem is we're just really struggling to bring in players of the 3rd division. I think as a club, we're probably a 4th division club, so clubs don't really see us as a team that they'd want to join. In terms of where we are, we do get a media prediction. We're expected to finish 2nd bottom. These are expected to finish bottom, and there's no odds for them. Are they already are they going through a financial thing and they're going to get relegated or something? Either way, we are very much expected to not do very well this year. We are way below the rest of the club, so clearly not really expected to do quite well. One of the teams also in the bottom 3, Fallu, is actually our first game of the season, so that'll be a really good tester to see where we're at. But yeah, we are not expected to do very well at all. For some reason, they're already meant to do really badly. I don't know if maybe they're a B team or something. Yeah, they're a BT to Hammarby. But they're in the top div, so I don't know why they would necessarily have to go down. Don't really know, but we won't worry about it. Players like this are at their club who are, 5-star players. So we are quite a ways away from a team that's going to do well in this division. I think if we can stay up, considering there's 3 automatic relegation spots and 1 playoff, I mean, we've got to avoid the bottom 4. I think it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be really tough. Obviously, if we get relegated, we'll bounce. We're not going to go back into the 4th division. There's some Premier League jobs available, so we definitely will bounce if we get relegated. But if we can keep them up, I think that would be quite an achievement. I think the thing is as well, I don't know how long it's going to take us to get into a better squad, to become a team that's capable of doing it. As you can see, there's no one really available at the minute who is going to take us to that next level. But we'll go take a look, hopefully be able to bring some players in, and hopefully I'll come back and have some new signings for you. Another youngster sort of in the door is Hilmar Starry Hilmarsson. He is a 21-year-old Icelandic centre-back, very, very tall, not too great, 2.5 stars of current ability, which means he's a leading second division player with 5-star potential. He was formerly of Valur in Iceland, then went to a team in the second div and played 11 games in 2024. So he's not actually played in a little while. So he's going to come in. He's going to sit again in the under-19s, but actually we'll probably move him into the first team squad because, like I say, we are a little bit light on players. So he's going to come in and basically be our third choice centre half to sit besides these two. So yeah, we've got starting to build out a little bit of a squad. We do have some rules though in the league that I didn't know about, so I need to pay attention to. So we really can't afford to sign too many more non-Swedish players. So basically, you need to have in the matchday squad, which is the 11 plus 7 subs, you need to have 9 homegrown players. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at the minute. So we really need one more Swede, and then we can get 2 more non-Swedish players in. Otherwise, we need to basically leave a spot on the bench every game, which is not ideal. So at the minute, we're still obviously looking to improve players, but one thing we do have to keep in mind is signing players. We really need to try and get some players from Swedish academies, basically homegrown players in Sweden. Would definitely help as we are a little bit light. So I guess Stalnecki, when the other goalkeeper comes in, will have to just sit on the bench, which is fine. Hopefully he's okay with that. We are still struggling. I honestly think we won't probably sign anyone too great. To be honest, I think we're going to be in for a rough season. The reason why Hammarby are bottom as well is that they can't be promoted. So it's not that they're expected to finish bottom, it's that they can't be promoted because B teams can't go any higher from this level. So yeah, it's a little bit worrying. We are very much up against it, but hopefully we can defy the odds. So we've reached the first game of the season and we've not been able to do much else. For some reason, we haven't played many friendlies, just the 2, so we're not actually going into it very fit. That's my bad. I really should have paid closer to attention to that, but I've just been kind of just getting through it because we haven't really had any signings to make. So as you can see, we are now at our first game of the season against Fallow. If we look at media prediction one last time before the season starts, we're a little bit higher up for some reason. I don't know whether we've just signed some better players or whether it's kind of readjusted it, but we're still expected, if you kind of imagine Hammarby are probably not going to finish bottom, we're still expected to be in the bottom 4, which would be the relegation zone. 4th bottom is the playoff, so we really need to definitely avoid the bottom 3, but yeah, bottom 4 ideally too, because we don't want to go into that playoff. So it's not looking as bad. I don't know if it's just recalculated based on the players we've got now or whether the players look a little bit better, but overall, we've got just enough of a squad to kind of get going. We're probably really lacking in a centre mid, and unfortunately, our first centre mid is unavailable. We may have to do a one of the whatever these guys are, the blue guys. Otherwise, we'll probably just have to play someone out of position, which I think is what we probably will end up doing. So yeah, we are a little bit light in terms of some areas. We're still trying to bring some players in. But for now, this is the squad. Obviously, we'll go through the 11, the full squad properly in the next episode. But yeah, that's going to do it for now. When we come back, we'll play our first game in Division 3 against Fallow BS. We'll do an away day for that as well. And then we'll play our first home game of the season in the new division against those guys. Not even going to bother trying to pronounce it. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the Euro Journeyman. And I'll see you all for more very soon.